But we don't just do video, we do static as well. So with static, we can't see how people respond second by second, but we can see where they look, eye tracking, and measure if they look at something for long enough, how their brain responds. So traditional eye tracking just tells you where people look, which is interesting, but it doesn't tell you enough. I mean, you can look at something because you love it, you can look at something because you hate it, or confused. So it just tells you that they notice something. You can not look at something because you love it. Like a Coke logo, you would hardly look at it because it's so familiar. You know immediately and you would look at it. But it doesn't say it's bad, it's not working, or people shouldn't look at it. It just means they don't need to look at it for a long time. So understanding where people look and why they look there is what you can do with a combination of EEG and eye tracking. And I'll just take you through some little learnings, really, on static print. So let's see how clever you all are. Which is the better, more effective way to show this piece of communication for a rush? So bottom or the top? Who says bottom? Most people say bottom, some people say top. Few people say top. Anybody want to tell me why the bottom?
Attention to the candy of the chocolate.
Attention to the chocolate?
Because you read, it's the
And you read left to right.
yeah.
You read left to right, so you'll end up at the top. So it turns out that the top is the best way. And the reason the top is the best way, it doesn't matter which way you read. It works the same in China, wherever they read from as it does here.
In China.
It's exactly the same. It doesn't matter which way you read. It's about how our brain is organized. And our brain is organized so that the right hemisphere is better at processing imagery, and the left hemisphere is better at processing words. But your left visual field goes to the right part of your brain, and the right part of your visual goes to the left part of your brain. And if you show them the other way around, it just means it's slightly less fluent for the brain to process. Small, tiny, less fluent, you wouldn't even notice it. But studies have shown that on average, if there's no benefit to showing it words on the left, image on the right, show image on the right, text on the left, it's more effective. If there's no other reason to do it, then do it that way, because it's more effective. It just makes it more perceptually fluid for people to process. So when you look at something, if you've got it's easier for your brain to process images that are on the side, left, text that's on the right. How about this one? Anybody want to volunteer which is a more effective app? A different? First one? This one here? Why? Clean and simple. Okay, that was easy. So this is about the same idea as cognitive processing, right? Our brain has got a limited cognitive ability to process things, and we need a visual anchor. We need to know, we need to be able to anchor ourselves visually on a picture to be able to process it. If there's no visual anchor, there are too many things, it becomes overwhelming, or we can't process anything. So often in advertising, you try to put in lots of different things because we want people to process all of these messages we've got, and it ends up being negative. In other words, you process nothing, rather than having a few things that you do process. And that's just because our brains can really only cope with 3 or 4 visual clusters. After that, it becomes like the Suez body, we don't know what's happening. The other important thing on faces, of course, you probably know this, but there's a part of your brain that is dedicated to processing faces. As humans, faces are critically important to us. We're trying to really predict future behavior of somebody by looking at their face. Are they a threat, or are they not a threat, or they're somebody I should approach, really basically. But we're extremely good at humans at processing faces. Women apparently are slightly better than men, slightly faster, but both men and women are very good at processing facial images. And it's the easiest way to get a really powerful emotional reaction. Not just any face, though. It's not just show a smiling face, but show a face that drives express engagement, or perhaps show a face that doesn't. So often, the Mona Lisa effect, if a face is just, I'm not quite sure what that expression is, it might be more intriguing. People might dwell on your ad a little bit more because it's slightly different. But very powerful, and of course the eyes and the cheek are very powerful in expressing, but the whole face is important, not parts of the face. Often you'll see beauty products will show you that, because they want to show you functionally the makeup and how beautiful it is, but emotionally they're losing the beauty of the face. Or a hair ad might show you a close-up of some hair, back of a ponytail. But if you can't see the face, you can't emotionally engage with the whole. So beauty needs face to engage with. This people find emotionally disengaging. So look at the back, hidden or occluded face. Look at the back. I know creatively it makes sense because I'm on the beach. But as a human, I want to understand, I want to see them, and I'm frustrated that I can't detect and see. It's just gut. I've got to be able to see their visual response. Then, of course, we can use eye gaze quite effectively, right? So as humans, we are programmed to look where other people are looking, because we grow in packs, groups. So when you look at a picture, you'll automatically go to the central visual, the face often. And then the problem is you might not ever look at you might not ever look at the brand message. If you just look at the face, you just say, oh, it's a nice guy in washing machine, and change the page. But if he's looking towards your brand message, you've got a chance that people will actually explore this tiny top right-hand corner of the ad. So you can use eye gaze to direct people when they've seen the face to your brand message and improve the chances of you getting your brand message across. This is a great example where you're doing the opposite. You're helping your competitor's ad on the page next door, because I look at him and then I look at where he's looking, and that's the next ad for Twinings next door. Motion is something else. As humans, we are, we respond to motion. So our non-conscious brain, our bottom-up processing will detect motion. Somebody moving, even it's implied motion, that will grab our attention. So if you're walking and you see somebody jumping, you'll automatically the non-conscious will look at that. And then if he's implied motion towards something, that will also perhaps help you to see the text or explore the visual. So here you've got Coca-Cola using the cathedral effect, right? Driving my gaze up because I'm following the implied motion of the exploding Coca-Cola, but it's driving me away from the brand message and the branding. So I'll first look at the bottle, probably, and I'll follow it up, and I'll look at that, and I'll drift off, and I'll never understand that I need to live on the Coke side of life. I won't explore that long enough. They could quite easily change that and have a little bit of Coke side of life at the top, so that I engage. Whereas here, Doritos have done that. These drips drop down, and it dropped me to the messaging you want me to see. The other mistake often made is occlusion. So occlusion is when a word is something is on top of something else and hides it. And as humans, we want to understand first the picture and complete it. So we spend, our brain capacity is taken up by trying to fill in the picture that's included. So for example, on this image, we're trying to actually first see him. And I can't see him because there's writing on him, so I'm taking a little bit longer to see him before I've got time now to process the text. In the milliseconds I've got to look at this ad, you're not helping me process what I want to see, so I'm taking time and I'm not reading the text. In this ad, I can quickly see his face, and I've got time to then take in the message. So if you occlude, you're taking up cognitive resource, which is limited, in helping me, making me figure out what I'm looking at. It's similar to the ads that I've got fast cuts. Taking up resource by making me work harder to see the man, and I've got less time to see the message. Show me clearly, then I can see the message. Give me processing space to see the message. And finally, product consumption is really interesting. So we do experiments where people do consume product. We do it really to understand when you consume a product, what is the emotionally most engaging moment of consumption. Not only from doing it yourself, but from watching somebody do it. So for example, if we were to take somebody eating a chocolate, where in the chocolate eating process is it most engaging? Is it a box and open? Is it the open box? Is it taking out a chocolate, unwrapping the chocolate, about to put it in your mouth, putting it into your mouth, biting into the chocolate, feeling the crunch, swallowing it? Where in all of that? And if you can understand that, then when you communicate, you can find the most evocative images